Morning, guys. This is our work here from yesterday. This is our note. We're going to be solving two-step equations, and we did it yesterday. We're going to practice them all today. And over on the right are the steps, and it should be in your notes, but if you missed something yesterday, feel free to put it down. Like the last time we did these with one-step equations, the first step is just to isolate the variable. We do that by performing the opposite operation of both sides. So remember, if it's addition, you are going to do subtraction and vice versa. And if it is multiplication, you are going to do division. And then back the other way, if it was division, you would do multiplication. So whatever the opposite operation is, that's what you do to get rid of the numbers on that side of the equation. Now, there's something highlighted here in yellow, and it says do the adding or subtracting first. And I get that that is contrary to BEDMAS. We talked about BEDMAS last month, and you might want to do the multiplication and division first because that's what BEDMAS tells you to do. But this is contrary to BEDMAS, so in order to do these questions correct and every time, do the addition and subtraction first. Once you get rid of the, in this case it was plus 3 and we subtracted 3 to both sides. Once you get rid of that, then you do your multiplication or your division and solve and get one variable by itself. We're going to isolate that variable. So the second step is just to keep on going until the variable's all by itself. And then when you're done and you already have the variable there, you check it just like the last time, left side equals right side. And remember, you go into the original question. So you've got to go all the way back to the top. That would be the left-hand side. That would be the right-hand side. And you put that in. You show substitution here by putting brackets, and you put this answer into the equation with brackets, and then you go ahead. If this side equals that side, you're done. So we're going to do a few more examples just so you can see it a little more, and then you just have to practice. So if I had something like 2t plus 5 equals 55, remember when I have it, I have two different things that have to be done, but the only real part that was in that note that was a change is that we have to do the adding or subtracting first. So we have to get rid of this plus 5. And how do we get rid of plus 5 to both sides? We're going to subtract it. Remember, do not change the order. You do not change the order. It will just get you so wrong. So you write everything down in the same order and you write minus 5 on both sides. Here they'll cross out because 5 minus 5 is 0. So on this side we are left with 2t, and on this side it's 55 minus 5, and that's 50. Now that I look at my 2t, I know that 2 is being multiplied to t because they're so close together, and I know the opposite operation to both sides is going to be the division. And I do the division with the line underneath the number because it's easier and it looks neater. Anyhow, to isolate t, I have to get rid of 2. So I divide from both sides. Again, they'll cross out. T equals 25. We're almost done, but we do have to check. We do our left side. We do our right side. The original left-hand side was 2t plus 5. The original right-hand side was 55. Now again, what you're going to do is take this answer and put it where you see t. We show that by substituting, and we show by brackets. Now BEDMAS applies again. I have to multiply first. 2 times 25 is 50 plus 5. The answer is 55. If I look over here, both my check answers are the same, which means I did my question properly, and I can go ahead and do another question. So I want you to see different questions, so I'm going to do this one over 4. I'm going to subtract this time. I'll subtract 10, and I'll make this 30. It's going to be a little larger answer, but that's okay. Now, remember, when we're doing these questions, the first thing you have to do is get rid of the addition or subtraction where the variable is. So in this case, you write t over 4 because we're not going to change the order, minus 10 because that was the original question, and we're going to add 10 to both sides. When we add 10 to both sides, these will cross out, which was our whole point in doing it. Over here we have t over 4 equals 40. Now when we have t over 4 equals 40, I'm just going to move this over just a bit. Equals 40. we have to get rid of that 4. And right now, division is the operation going on. And if we're going to perform the opposite of division, we're going to multiply. We're going to multiply both sides by 4. These will cross out. T is now equal to 4 times 40, which is 160. Don't worry, you're a grade 8. That is not too big a number for you to deal with. We want to see if we did it properly. And what we have is the original question of t over 4 minus 10. This was just going to be 30. We show substitution by putting it in brackets. So this will be 160 divided by 4 minus 10. 160 divided by 4 is 40 minus 10. And that is 30. Boom and boom. So we have another one that we know we did right. And our very last one, I'm just going to do what we did the other day and put a variable on the right-hand side. Please remember, it does not matter if it's on the left or the right. I can always say, I am Mr. Ross, or Mr. Ross, I am. It sounds a little bit weird when I say it the second way, but it means the exact same thing. It tells you who I am. So if I was to have a question that says something along the lines of 25 is equal to, let's go 15 plus 2x. All right, so I've mixed a few things up, but we know what we want to do is isolate for the x. And the first thing we have to do is get rid of the addition or subtraction. So what we are going to be looking towards is this right here. Now, a small mistake that some kids will make is that they'll assume different things, but we know that that's positive. It's 15. So to get rid of plus 15, we have to subtract 15. When you have your variables on the right-hand side, it's always best when you're first starting to start from the equal signs and move to the right. Remember, we are not going to change the order. That is the kiss of death. We do not change the order, but we're going to subtract 15 from both sides. Now, if I'm going to do from both sides, we have to put the 25 first, otherwise our order would be changed. So here, this will be 15 minus 15, that'll be gone. I'll have 2x left on this side, and 25 minus 15 is 10. Always remembering that what we're doing is trying to isolate for the variable, so I need to remove this 2 right here. Now if I remove the 2, I have to know what's going on. Multiplication is going on. We're going to do the opposite of multiplication to both sides, which is going to be division. They'll cross out. We have x, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. Looks good to me, but we can't just go by looks, so we have to check it out. The original's left-hand side was 25 here. The original right-hand side was 15 plus 2x. There's nothing to do over on the left-hand side, so we might as well go play over here on the right. 15 plus 2, you have to substitute the answer that you got in for the variable. Now, don't make an order of operation mistake. This is 15 plus 10, and that is 25. Check mark, check mark. We're ready to go. It is a big looking question, but the key to there's 2 keys. The first, when you have a 2-step problem, you do the addition or subtraction first. That's the first big key. And the second big key is not to change the order of your question, because soon we'll start putting integers and negatives and different things all over the place, and if you change the order, you're sunk. It changes the meaning of the question, it changes your answer. So, addition and subtraction first, don't change the order, good luck, ask me lots of questions.